some windows here.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to BeoTalk 189. As per usual, super chats are open. Like and subscribe and all that jazz. Super chats guarantees a topic to your answer and/or question. Steve will answer everything you ask of him.
Of course.
and Steve is back in that sense, and so is Henrik. Henrik is still alive. And we have our Prestige Creators first draw pick for the giveaway later, which is also kind of sweet. And that's about it. Also, links to all our stuff is down below. So, Steve, how have you been?
Oh, it's chaos. It's good chaos, but it's the problem with an online business. It's either, well, it's feast or famine, like they say, and it's just been too busy. So, yeah, big apologies to anyone who's trying to buy anything in the last few days. I'm just about catching up, and then, yeah, back to the website open tomorrow again.
It's a really good problem to have, by the way.
It is, yeah, but I still feel bad for the guys who need cables, and I just can't always keep up with it.
Sometimes their piss poor planning should not necessitate an emergency on your side.
Yeah, but I'd still want to be there. But yeah.
Oh, I know the same.
It's just too much.
Christmas is always crazy. It's the same thing for me. Like with, that's when people start to realize that, oh, I need to get Willie in here too, because this doesn't work, that doesn't work. I had a lady that I had a service call yesterday at. I haven't seen her since 2014. And she's been without a music for a year because one of those angry vegans got a Tesla in her block and they get an occasional brownouts, right? And I think it was that there's a couple people that had the Tesla and they had occasional brownouts, and brownouts are very bad for specifically BeoLab 2. It doesn't turn on anymore. The light is red, it looks like it's working, but it's not. Like the sound will just not go through the board. And I literally went in there, because I just saw the lap 3s, and she has a proper install, like drilled holes right through the floor, cables right through it. You don't see anything, right? And the BeoLab 2 she had behind this huge vase that I couldn't see. And I'm looking like, fucking hell, like there's no BeoCenter 2. She cranks this volume to 90. See, like there's no sound. I'm like, don't, like if something comes on, it's just the drivers are gonna go across the room. So I turn it back down, go downstairs in the basement, blah, 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 look through wires, and I'm like, there's a third cable going in. I'm like, you have a subwoofer? It's like, no, I don't. I'm like, no, you have a subwoofer. So I walk upstairs with her, right? I'm like, it's got to be somewhere in here. I'm like, look, fuck, it's right behind the vase. Unplugged it, plugged it back in. That was the entire service call. I didn't even have a heart to charge. I just got cookies and fuck off. Merry Christmas. But yeah, to your point, it is busy, and yeah, sometimes you just like example of that. Like I guess I did a job for cookies, but yeah, it's I just couldn't charge that much money for something that benign, right? Even though I was in the neighborhood. But anyways, so good deed will never go unpunished.
If she calls you back next week with the same fault, yeah, that would be time to change.
I told her, like if this ever happens, just unplug and plug back in. Right, so everybody gets a free one every now and then. So that's my heartwarming Christmas story, everybody.
Wait, you weren't Grinchy last week?
I'm still Grinchy. So there you go.
So Henrik, how does it feel to still be alive? Because I know your last video was in Danish, but I could see the frustration.
I thought by now you'd like shave your beard and dye your hair or something, like, just
yeah,
don't even look like
I'm undercover. This is just a green screen. I'm not at home. Nah. I mean, they took it pretty nice. Like I mean, they accused me of not being a very good reporter first time because I didn't do my homework about what was up and down in the things. And just to tell you guys to get over, like I had 3 points. It was the private sale, it was the Halo, and it was the Halo anthracite version that the wheel was flimsy, and then it was the Beoremote ones. so to start out, I actually got a mail from Bang & Olufsen saying that regarding the private sales, every dealer had the same opportunity to do the same deal as they did on their website. And what I can say is that I called 6 random dealers just to check it out if I could get it at that price. And none of those dealers could sell it to me at that price point. Then I called some bigger dealers and they could actually sell it to me at that price point. So, I mean, I'm not sure.
How fair is that?
I'm not sure who's right or wrong. I'm just saying
Fake news.
that Bang & Olufsen replied an answer on my question, and I mean, give them the benefit of the doubt. So that was probably wrong for me to say that they went behind their dealers. That was maybe a wrong choice of words for my point of view. I probably shouldn't have said that. I should just said that I have tried to get it at that price point, and I didn't succeed with that. But
I asked around too, and they couldn't either. It wasn't just local to Denmark.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That was the answer. So I'm not really going to dig more into the private sales thing. I mean, if it's true that all the dealers couldn't provide the same price as Bang & Olufsen is selling it for, I think that's bad. And to sum up my story, I found it out at the same time they had private sales. We had Black Friday, and a lot of the Black Friday offers from Bang & Olufsen was the same Beoremote Halo, but it was 130 euros more expensive on Black Friday than it was on private sales on Bang & Olufsen. So maybe that just, I don't know. Yeah, it's up to you guys to figure out who to believe, who not to believe. I think I have done my journalism. I think I've done a good job, and I know what I'm thinking, but that's me.
Yeah, I mean, I would hope that I would hope the dealers have always got the opportunity to buy stock in cheaper than the end consumer can buy it themselves, so that they can stay in business.
Yeah.
One of the reasons, I mean, for me, the reason I'm still a B&O collector after all these years is because I can go into a local dealer. I can go in and talk to them and see and hear the products. And when that goes, it'll be so much harder to stay a regular B&O buyer.
What I'm thinking about here, Steve, is maybe it is true that they gave the opportunity to all the dealers to sell it at the same price, but their revenue would be gone.
Yeah.
And you can't have a physical store without revenue.
No.
And then run into the potential warranty on top of that.
Let's say that at
to
that
open
price,
a shop.
Let's say at that price point they had a revenue of 20 to 30 euros, just a price ball figure park thing. That's pretty hard to sell remotes and then have a shop opening every day and a few staffs and electrical bills, shop bills and warranty and whatnot. And I mean, yeah, but yeah. So that was what I figured out with the private sales. Then I went to the Beoremote Halo, and I thought I should just eat my own hat if I bought one, and it would be fine when it arrives. So I thought, and I also thought that it would be so much fun if I unpack a Halo here in the studio on camera, and it would be perfect. Because I mean, I would just look like an ass. That would be so much fun. So I thought about it, and I was just like, okay, let's just order a Halo. So I did, and I did the unpack here, and I mean, the wheel is loose, everything is rattling, and I'm just, it's.
Sorry, I'm bowing to prestige creators.
And I mean, it's just, it just builds my theory about that. I still haven't seen a anthracite that is right, and I've heard from UK that they have like sent out. I talked with the 2 different dealers in UK, and I mean we're talking about 7 halos that has been back and forth, and then now they come from Denmark. It's gonna be perfect, and it's just like nope, it wasn't perfect. It rattled and it was wrong again. And I've heard from the Netherlands as well. Where are you from, Mikey? And it's the same deal there. And
dude, I have one that rattles, for God's sakes.
I have called a few dealers here before I called my own dealer, and said that do you have a anthracite halo that is rightly built? And every one of them said we never seen one. And then I called my dealer to say that I need an exchange on my halo, and he didn't say anything to me, but he was just laughing, like I know what you're talking about. and I said to him before he could say, well, we can't provide you with one. Before he said anything to me, I said, I got a letter from Bang & Olufsen that says that they don't have any quality issues on the Halo remote. So please send me a new one. So next week I'm getting a new one, and I'm going to, of course, do the unpacking again. And hopefully at that point, in the same video, I wrote Bang & Olufsen about the wrong remote, the Beoremote 1 where the screen is crooked. And hopefully I've had an answer from Bang & Olufsen at that time as well, so I could do the unpacking. Plus I can tell what Bang & Olufsen told me about the crooked Beoremote 1. And about the last thing, the Beoremote 1s, Bang & Olufsen said that they haven't heard about any wrongs with the Beoremote 1s. They never heard about the crooked screens, and I think I heard somewhere, I'm not gonna say where, but I think I heard somewhere that they only had maybe 1 or 2 cases about the Beoremote 1s. So I'm not really sure what to think here. So and they have asked me if I could send them some proof of the Beoremote 1s, and I said no, because I'm not gonna share all your guys' pictures that you sent to me with Bang & Olufsen without your acceptance.
Approval, yeah.
That I'm gonna say this is from this guy, this is from this girl, whatever. So I just thought, because it was for me to use on my channel, so I thought let's show them 10-15 remotes on the video, just to show the ballpark what we're talking about and how fragile these remotes are. Yeah. And I did that as well. And I know that a lot of people have been calling dealers after my video. And I'm not sure if Bang & Olufsen have talked with the shops or whatever, because some of the shops was like, oh, we never heard about the Beoremote 1s, that the display was crooked, and they wrote this to me, and I was just like, haha, that's fun. Just link them to my video and they know what I'm talking about. So yeah, but everybody, as for now, has been getting a replacement, and I haven't heard about anybody who hasn't got a replacement yet. And please let me know if you try to get a replacement and you can't get a replacement. I mean, if it's after warranty, then you can't do it. I mean, that's just the legal reasons.
Yeah.
But
if it's a problem, you should spot it within warranty.
Yeah, exactly, Steve.
However, so, they have they have an opportunity to cross this bridge with some gallantry and say, you know what, it's not that far out of warranty. I mean, they used to do this with all the vans when they still had the Philips tube system in the back. Because I remember when this happened to us when we had that old Avant, it was 5 years old and the picture went, and I'm not saying it was free, but there was a 70% knocked off the price or something like that.
Yeah, but think about, Mikey, if they get like, let's just say 10% of the remotes back, I don't think that they are gonna say, oh, you're a few months after the warranty, we're gonna cover it. I think they're just gonna say, no, that's not gonna happen.
No, that's not gonna happen.
I suspect those remotes aren't built in-house.
No.
No, they're an Austrian firm, I think.
Every company relies on suppliers.
It's only the electronic part of the remote, and it's from Austria, I think.
Yeah. So they just need their purchasing managers to go back to the supplier and say, there you go, 10% of your goods were returned.
Fire the cockeyed guy that's putting the fucking glass on it.
Because the 10% was just something I said. It's
just as to follow the example.
Yeah, it's just that everything I say apparently
90% is faulty.
Yeah, it's just that everything I say apparently I have to
prove, because somehow you're talking out of your ass otherwise.
Yes, everything.
But that's the fucking same, and this is why I get so frustrated with them. Whenever they say you're the only one, it's like, I've heard this story so fucking many times. Like, I don't believe you anymore when you say that.
Well, at least they can't say that the screen is crooked because of your Wi-Fi.
No, it's 5G, man. It's the cell towers outside.
That's right. It's pulling the screen to the one side. It's always good. No, I've seen that. Like, I've been working with BeoTalk since 2011.
Wait, didn't you just order 2 of them and they both were crooked as well?
Yeah, we can talk about that later. They're not that bad. I'll go get them in a second. But we also shared the store, or the manager of the shop in Calgary also managed or owned the shop in Portland. And it was always the saying, it's only us in Portland that has these issues, right? Like, we're the only ones. Like, whenever stuff came through, it's like, oh yeah. And I called Ryan in the Portland store. I'll never forget that guy, man. I swear to God, one day I asked him, like, do you run your phone through a fucking passive kit? Because it was so loud. Like, it was an old Beocom 3. I don't know if you remember those, with the display. And the microphone on these things was just, I had not enough bars to volume down how he talked. But anyways, we always chatted about shit that it was frustrating, even with the gateway and the software. The BeoSystem 4, when it first came out, for some reason the subwoofer became a center channel and you couldn't change it. You had to reset the factory. But it was only us, Calgary and Portland.
Yeah.
Sucks to be only us that having all the demented products sent to us, and everybody else, everybody else's works fine.
What date is your Halo from, Willie? Because yours rattles too, and it's aluminium silver.
I think it's November something. Let's see. November 2020. Yeah, November 2020. So it is pretty recent. Let's grab those remotes as well.
Mine is August 2020, and it's fine. Matthew said he wrote to B&O 2 weeks ago, support and nothing.
Well, because that email just goes to auto delete box. That's basically it.
Halo.
How long time ago did he write?
2 weeks ago, and still no reply.
Oh, okay. That's not good enough.
No. And it's apparently aluminium as well.
These are brand new silks.
And Frederick says he has a rattling bronze one from 2021 January as well.
I have seen a few bronze one that rattles as well, and the ring is not tight, but it's it's only the newer editions I've seen it on.
Yeah, this one's got a huge gap. It's kind of hard to see against the...
I'm really surprised with the Beoremote 1 that when they assemble it, part of the instruction isn't that they have almost a feeler gauge, a thin slip of plastic that goes on each side, and the display goes in the middle, and it's exactly lined up. It's just simple manufacturing.
I think that this is placed by a robot. I think like a Kuka machine or something, those orange ones.
Then it should be exact.
It should be perfect,
programmed correctly.
But I think that maybe they have a cradle issue. That maybe how that thing seats itself inside the wherever this thing is, whatever is putting the glass on, it's inaccurate. Or one of those things is cockeyed or something. I don't know. Like, it's just, there's only have so many of them. Because there are I would say, very replicable errors, because some of them are the display is always to the bottom, right? So if they have few of those machines assembling this thing, so one is misaligned that way, one has it this way, one is further up, and one of them is a right one.
But this is supply chain management. The supplier should be checking them off the production line. B&O should be going out and checking them, or checking them as they come in, and from serial numbers they should be able to say which machine it was on.
Yes, and I think also there's a problem with the not just quality control. I think is the biggest problem.
Yeah,
Beoremote Halo.
Because somebody, I don't know if it's the machine that slips the thing on, or is it people that are assembling it, right? Like, 'cause I'm sure that all those old ladies in the factory 5, whatever the quality control check, they're almost retired now. Because like, I have that lady in the book on the first, like the black book, the white book, and I met them in 2015. I'm like, wow, you're still here. They're on the wall over 25 years.
Maybe it was
right?
time for new prescription glasses, and thanks to lockdown, they couldn't get it, so it looks straight.
I don't know, man. I would like to see the manufacturing process of it, because there's got to be a way to correct this. There's got to be a way to correct this. I don't believe that this is how you get the remotes. And I don't believe also in the fact that, well, you should charge less then.
No.
No, that's not the answer.
Hold on, 2 seconds.
Jeg tror også, man kan høre det, hvis jeg gør det her.
That's enough. That audience can now catch it. I think yours is actually worse than Willie's, Henrik.
No, it's bad. I mean, it's like really, really, really bad. I mean, it sounds like.
And you're just doing that. You're not even shaking it.
No. But if you listen to the sound when I'm shaking it, Heidi was just like, "Did you buy a bag of Legos?" And I was just like, "Nope, that's just the Beoremote Halo."
That's our $1,100 remote, sweetie. How you like that?
Yeah, congratulations.
Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask you. Prestige Creators sent a very kind super chat, and he was wondering if you could spray your beard white for the next podcast you're on.
Yeah,
so
but
Sounds very reasonable.
I won't be on until after Christmas. So.
Or don't use hair, like talcum powder works as well.
Baby, holy shit, that would be something.
I did it once. I had to go to a Christmas party with the guys, and I sprayed something in the beard that made it all tingling, like not tingling, like glittering.
Glittering. Oh,
and
God.
It was just like, I thought it was fun, but what I didn't think was fun was the day after I had to drive my car. And I apparently have sit like this, and that's just driving and whatever.
Everywhere.
And I mean, the whole car was just glittering. It was crazy. Not a good thing.
No, man. I don't even like it when girls have the like glittery lip balm.
Nope.
My ex-wife used to wear that. I'm like, I don't want to kiss you because then I look like a clown. I don't want to do that. Like, you take it off. Have a regular, like a Nivea thing, chap, right? Like, why do you gotta put all that nonsense on you? It's terrible. But that's women, and they eat like 3 kilos of that shit over their lifetime. Literally. It's a Googleable statistic. Check it. It's probably more now or less, I guess. With the lockdowns, nobody really looks good anymore. Look at me, I ain't shaved.
Speak for yourself.
I ain't shaved. So that could be it.
Steve, do you actually have any Beoremote one, or are you just on the Beo4s still?
I've got loads of Beo4s. I don't trust my kids with Beoremote ones yet. But I like them. I do like them, particularly the infrared version that does Bluetooth and IR.
Don't they
I'd
all?
be very tempted when the kids are a bit more trustworthy.
The first gen didn't. The one that had three my buttons on top with the list all the way up top, which I don't know how they agreed on that.
Those? I thought they stopped making those.
Oh yeah, they're gone now. But there's still people that have them.
Oh yeah.
I have a few that have them.
You've got a mixture of legacy and new products. That's perfect.
But the biggest problem is that it's a catch-22 more or less. That up and down and left and right on the diamond, are these numbers on the BO4, or here are on the BO4. So it's, for some people it's unteachable. Like I had a hard time navigating it, but some people just won't like it, right? That I have to go off the dial in order to navigate my TVs and stuff, or guide. So
whilst I
that's
wouldn't ever argue for a Bluetooth BO4, I still think that the people who are designing and quality checking Beoremote 1 should be given BO4s, because that's when it was done properly.
Should be beaten with them.
Well, that's the thing. If I had burglars, the first thing I'd pick up would be a BO4.
That's right.
I know I could beat them to death and then still work the TV with
it. Light go, turns on the lights, whack. There's 8 stitches on her forehead.
The gateway gets like this huge command from Steve's remote. He's just trying to beat down a burglar. Lights on, lights off, lights on, curtain up, curtain down, curtain up, curtain down.
Oh God. Yeah, dude.
The coffee machine. Just think about this. Okay, now it's getting a bit crazy, and please stop me when it goes way off. But think about John Wick, and just think about Steve as John Wick. The first thing is that Steve, before he gets to the burglar, he picks up the Beoremote 4. The Beogram starts up on his way down, and then he just beats him, and the lights turn off, the curtains go up, the coffee machine starts making coffee, and yeah, I see that movie. That will be amazing.
The burglary macro. Just
burglary
downstairs. Yes.
Are you thinking of getting the cinema version of the BO4?
Never really seen the appeal. I don't need the backlit.
I guess you're not like Eric that collects all of them.
No.
I don't think you could ever collect all BO4s, because there were so many different variants of the aluminium plate over time that, especially the older ones, they don't match the new wall brackets, which are no longer made anyways.
In John Wick, this is basically Steve, but that's a BO4.
We could make a cover picture for you, Steve, where you like John Wick just holding the BO4.
Oh man.
Only one BO4 is tough enough for Steve Marriott. Boom.
Yeah, I never really see those broken. The only time I've seen one display go from a dog chewing or trying to bring it in, but buttons were all right.
I've seen a guy who got a hole in his head with a BO4.
I believe that.
He was laying on the couch, and then he was doing like this, like swiveling it up and then catching it. And then one time he did it, and he didn't look up, and then it hit him in the head, and it was like bleeding and stuff.
Holy shit. He deserves that, though, because that's stupid. That's that's self-inflicted idiocy.
Yes.
This would cut you pretty good, too, though.
Yeah, you could do some damage with that. But it probably wouldn't work afterwards.
No. Probably
Maybe
lose the glass.
Be straightened.
I think it'd probably lose the glass. But it's a good remote.
Yeah. By the way, coming back to the remote story, for anybody in watching us, if you get a new remote, please check it right away.
Yeah, check it at the store. Open it up. Take your remote with you, and make the dealer to change the electronics in the remote, and then look at the remote. Is it straight or is it crooked? If it's crooked, they need to do a case on it right away.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it's not a cheap remote, and it's not fair. I don't think at all.
No,
that's rotating out there, circling around.
I told the exact same thing to the Danish viewers.
And be nitpicky, because like this picture that we shared before isn't supposed to be there, that bloody gap on the side.
Nope.
I wonder if the glass specification changed.
The funny thing is that the remote Steve is talking about, where you have the list on top, they don't have these issues.
No.
And the special remote I have in my living room doesn't have it either. It's perfect.
I'm gonna go check it.
And it's also perfect on top. Like it's not even a millimeter up on top. It's just like straight. It's perfect. But all the other remotes I have has some issues. One or the other issue.
I wonder if it's the display itself, the glass, that perhaps they've made it too small and they've got the tolerances wrong.
Maybe.
Maybe they've changed supplier.
Well, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's just a little bit on that side. There's a gap, but the camera's not good enough.
I mean, there's
That's
always
the original
the
one.
slightest of gaps, but it shouldn't be this
but it's
obvious.
straight as an arrow, though. It's straight as an arrow, and it's flush with the top, right? Like this one is too.
Yeah.
Some of them have it
with
sticking
that,
out.
you can just put your nail in on the side with what's on the screen. Like that's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be all quite snug.
Yeah, but if you see here, I don't know if I do like this, then you should be able to see this remote now, right?
Yeah.
No, not focusing yet.
No, it's what the there. So you see the display is the electronic parts is actually a little bit over the aluminum part on top.
Yeah.
And that is on all my remotes, but the one remote that is the specially made remote with the special keypad on it, that doesn't have that. It's just flushed to the top and is flushed on the side. And the screen here is also, let me see. The screen here is also going a bit over the remote. I don't know, it's black on black. It's really hard here. Yeah. But it's like a bit over top of the remote. The ones that I have in the living room doesn't have that issue as well. It's just flushed with the remote. It's perfect. But I mean, I can live with this. This is okay for me. And
it's weird that it's always on the right side, though. That surely, if it's automated, that must mean there's something out of alignment with the tooling or something of that nature.
Yeah,
I mean, the screens are too small, and the instruction is fitted to the bottom left, but now it leaves a gap.
This is almost perfect. Like it's too perfect that I would give it in and give an unperfect back.
It's kind of weird that we sort of settle for when B&O has a catchphrase of like no one else, and we settle for almost perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, in the good old days, I mean, everything was just perfect.
Yes.
Everything was perfectly built. Everything, the quality check was perfect. And if it wasn't perfect, then they would, I mean, and back to the quality check on my video, on the next video I'm going to do with the new Halo that I'm going to reveal, just to talk about the quality check, because Bang & Olufsen didn't think they had an issue with the quality check. And I have a Beoremote Halo. It's a aluminium one that got sent to a customer, and it has scratches all over the wheel. And I mean, why doesn't the quality check see this? This is actually, they just opened it, and then it had scratches on top of the wheel. That should never happen. And it's just a thing that I think that maybe they are way too busy, and maybe they don't have given the time that it takes to do the quality check. Because I mean, the last time I was at Fabric 5, the quality check guys was like, oh, really sketchy. They were like with lights and all these kind of things to check out everything. Now it just feels like, okay, let's get the next product. It's, are they too busy?
They can't use being busy as an excuse, because they've taken Emerge off of the website because they don't have the throughput of stock. So if they're going to say, actually, no, there's a point where we can't meet demand, then that says to me they're able to slow things down. They're able to get it right. Or they should be.
I think it was the local Wi-Fi dealer that said, you copyrighted our product, so please take it off the shelves.
I love my Emerge. I think it's brilliant for the size. Some new colours would be nice, so it looks a bit less like a router, but it's awesome. Absolutely can't fault it.
It's expensive though for what it is. Like,
Yeah,
I'd
sounds way
rather
better
have
than-
two M3s.
Yeah,
No,
me too.
I would have done originally, but the more I hear it, there's nothing else that sounds like it.
I don't disagree, but that goes out the window as soon as it goes beyond background music.
I think it depends where you put it in the room. If you've got it backed into the corner with solid walls behind it, it's brilliant. It's with that rear bass port. It's no good.
I don't like it. We talked about this before, Steve.
Yeah,
It'll
I
get
know.
Henrik
We're
mad.
wrong, so, yeah.
But what I would like to see, and this is not to trigger Willie, but
Oh,
I
for
would
God's
like to
sake.
see a Belucci edition with leather on the sides.
Yes.
The leather that you see on the Harmony Belucci edition, the reddish leather. I mean, that would look stellar, and on the black Emerge.
Even standard black leather would, as an option, would be.
No,
awesome.
the red one, that would look amazing.
That would be good. Yeah.
It would be like $3,000 or some nonsense. Yeah, it most likely would be. I wonder how much that would cost. But I don't know. I never really even bothered listening to it when I think they still had. I think they had it in Vancouver, because it was around when the PopCan was around, right? What is that thing called now? You have it, Henrik. The little Bluetooth speaker, Explorer.
Oh, yeah, the Explorer. Yeah.
Yeah. So I listened to that. That was pretty good.
It
Like,
sounds
for what
better
it is.
than the Emerge. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Would the Emerge sound better than the A1?
A lot,
Yes.
a lot better. Yes.
It's a three-way speaker, I guess.
Yes. Yeah. It won't
So,
go
right.
super loud.
It's also
but it
3x
goes
the
loud
price.
enough.
I think, Steve, the reason why, because we talked about just put it in the corner, put baby in the corner, and I've done that.
Yeah.
And I think the reason, because I'm like this as well. If I don't agree on the price point, if I think it's too expensive compared to what it does, then I think it's a bad product, which is not fair. But it's how I deal with these kind of things.
Yeah, it's a
I think the price point on the BeoLab 28 is, they're expensive, but they're freaking spot on compared to what they do. They sound amazing. This doesn't sound amazing compared to the price point. That's what I'm thinking, and
No,
that's
but I
mainly
suppose-
why I hate Bang & Olufsen headphones as well.
That's a strong statement. I don't agree with that.
No,
I
that's
disagree.
fine.
No,
But that's me.
I get you all the way up to the headphones, Collins.
have
Because
you tried
28s
to-
are great.
Have you tried Grotto headphones in the same price range? Sony headphones in the same price range?
Sony, yes. The Grados, no.
Okay, the Sony VS1000s. I mean, they sound a whole lot better.
Sennheisers. Absolute
Sennheisers,
brilliant.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
Steve. I mean, I'd rather have a pair of good Sennheisers than I actually have a pair of good Sennheisers here, and I'd rather use those than I use the H9Is.
But then again, I love the H95s. I just think there's a quality to the feel of them and the sound that you just don't get elsewhere. I mean, yes, you could get almost the quality at half the price, but it's never quite as good. And there are times when I just go, to hell with it. I'll pay the extra money because sometimes I want to just have the best.
The H95s, I really, really like the sound, but I've only have the acquaintance with them for like 2 to 5 minutes, because then I touch the wheel, and I could take the wheel like I can take the Beoremote Halo Anthracite and do like this. And then I was like,
I've had no problem with that at all.
yeah. I think I had the marketing director of Bang & Olufsen's headphones in my hand when I did it, and I was like, "This is really cheaply made, huh?" And and yeah, since then, I just I don't know.
I think you need to go back and hear them again.
Yep, I probably do.
Yeah.
In terms of passive headphones, I love Sennheiser over B&O, but most of my B&O headphones are all wireless Bluetooth, which is a headphone of Sennheiser. There's not really any of them that I really enjoy. So it depends on what you use them for. Like if it's passive cabled, it just turns out I have these already, so I'm not going out to buy more headphones. But these are supremely comfortable on my head anyway. But in terms of sound, I think Sennheiser can quite often beat B&O for the passive headphones. I mean, I make no qualms about that. But like I said, the best Sennheiser headphones are passive, not Bluetooth. And I think B&O is kind of inverted that way.
I think the Sennheisers I have are they called HD5 something?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, they're amazing. I'd rather listen to them than I listen to a Bang & Olufsen headphones. Because I think they're amazing. And the Grotto is just that much better. If I should go out and buy a pair of headphones now that should use Bluetooth, some audio, microphone, whatever, I would probably go for the XM4 1000 from Sony. Because, I mean, the noise canceling is better, the microphones is better, and I think they sound better than the same price range as Bang & Olufsen.
See, that's the issue. It's down to the price range, whereas my view, as I said, is sometimes you want to just get the best. And I've never heard a pair of headphones that you can watch an action movie on and that are like the H95, that perform in that same way and give you that feeling of being immersed. And for that, I don't think it's a price issue. You just go, actually, this is the best.
But wouldn't you rather take your Sennheisers and listen to a movie?
No, never. Okay. Maybe for music sometimes. I'll go between the B&O and the Sennheisers, but movies, no competition.
Sennheisers are a bit too sterile for movies, I think. It depends on what type of movie you're listening to and what that sort of thing and how it's mastered. I mean, as we keep on saying, not all audio is the same.
I will go back and have a listen. I mean, now I boycotted every in-ear from Bang & Olufsen because I think the AirPod Pro is just a better on-the-go headphone. I don't. That's the other thing. I don't.
Wait, is that the one with the hip bag thing? With the leather pouch.
No.
Carry your DAC in it.
No. And I my problem is that I only use headphones when I'm editing videos on the go, and then I use mainly my AirPod Pros. But sometimes I will use headphones. But I'm not that kind of person that sits in the living room and have headphones and see a movie. I would never do that. I mean,
I quite like that.
Never say never, bro.
Until I got
never
the
say never.
95s.
I would rather just kick the kids and Heidi out and just go see a movie.
You deal with the aftermath later.
That's right. That's when you put the headphones on afterwards. Noise canceling. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion of B&O's headphones. I don't sell them to people. I don't push them. I don't really think they are the best. But I have a few of them, and I like these with the whole Xbox thing, and it works properly. The only thing I don't like is being plugged into the computer with the USB, because then it chafes and it transfers through so it kind of almost ruins that experience, especially with the Dolby shit. Where is it coming from?
Have you tried any BeoPlay portals yet, then, Henrik?
I just had a quick chat with Bang & Olufsen last week because of something that I've probably done on YouTube or whatever. So they called me up, and at that time they told me that they were going to send a pair of portals that I could test out with the Xbox One X. Isn't it Xbox One X?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do the whole immersive Atmos thing with those headphones. So I hope that they would come before Christmas, but
it's a bit busy at the moment.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
So-
your video, you're probably just gonna get coal and shit anyway.
Yeah, probably, and a horse head.
Get fucking bag of barbecue briquettes. Here you go, asshole.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they said they was going to send it to me, so I mean, yeah, let's hope so. They were supposed to send it to me when I did the Xbox Series X video, but then they never sent it to me. Maybe that was because I said that I hated all Bang & Olufsen headphones, so they didn't send it to me.
It could have something to do with that, yeah.
Yeah. They probably thought I would give them a bad review, but I would never do that. I will give them the honest review. I mean, I did the same on the Emerge. I mean, I said that the product is not for me. It's for middle-aged men that like Wi-Fi routers. I said that I took the Emerge.
I'm looking
out
up to the side of the screen.
And I said that I took the Emerge out to a barbecue at my parents' house, and all the elder people at the barbecue liked the Emerge, and they quite liked the sound of it as well. So maybe the product is just not for me, but I still said I think it sounds good, but it just doesn't compare to the price point. That was what I said.
Yeah, but then didn't it used to be B&O's slogan back in the 70s that quality is remembered long after you've forgotten the price or something?
Probably.
Like that. And that's the thing.
I'm too young to know that.
Yeah. I read the old brochures. Yeah.
That's right.
But that is the classic way of justifying B&O, quite literally, because it would last 3x as long for double the price.
Yeah, and that's why
I don't mind paying the price. I never did.
Yeah.
Other than the Berluti bullshit, that's so hard to launch. God damn it.
Yeah, you've got to see them. You've got to feel. You've got to feel.
I've seen the headphones. But
you've got to
the
see
TV.
You've got to see the balance.
Oh, the balance.
That is.
They had one in Vancouver, and they never even got to open it. It was literally just ordered for somebody, and it was gone within an hour. Yeah. And then somebody's selling it.
Henrik, apparently over on Twitch, Generic Enthusiast says, Henrik is the BOT fly in the Bio ointment.
So,
Henry, maybe the answer would be to review some products that you like on B&O. Maybe then they would like you a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Send some 90s if you're listening, B&O.
Nah.
Oh, man.
By the way, before we all die, have either of you two clotted yet? We haven't heard your opinions on the...
It's a bad time for a name like CLOT to be a special edition.
Right? Again, marketing department, 2 thumbs up on a naming system.
Oh, no.
Just like you came out with a white master and white slave and black master and black slave for your speakers, which is, to this day, I can't fathom that this is still a sticker that says that. So a
what
CLOT.
is the price on a normal A1?
$250.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Right? I'm okay with it. I like the color. I don't like the goofy ass logo on it, but I really like the color.
I do like the color too.
Yeah, it's nice.
It would look good in my toolbox.
I don't know how to pronounce your name, Mr. I think it's Gaea. So I'm not going to try before I make it like super gay or something.
Giger.
But apparently he asked B&O what CLOT actually does, because we couldn't figure it out for the life of us last week.
Mm-hmm.
But according to B&O, CLOT is a Hong Kong fashion brand aiming to create clothes that bridge design and styles from different cultures. That's it.
And how many followers do they have? 265?
I don't know. They sell raincoats or... I don't know, tracksuit that looked like raincoats somehow.
It was so weird, man. They had such weird products. But I could see, like, I guess a Chinese guy running around in that shit. It looks like a nomad ninja or some sorts. I don't know. It was such weird style.
It's to the point where even Lewis Hamilton would go like, ooh.
They should have put that goofy ass logo on the bottom. It'd be stomachable.
But then B&O need the Chinese market at the moment.
Oh, hell yeah. Well, they're
They've done
concentrating on it a
special
lot.
in the past, haven't they? For like, was it the Stutter Star, Black Star version that they did? I can't remember what it was called for New Year a couple of years ago. But then they only released it in China, whereas now they're making it a bit more global.
I really, really like the color, but do you guys remember when we talked about the Cisco headphones as well? It feels like all the company gifts from different companies goes on sale on Bang & Olufsen's website.
Look at this. And the post, dude. Like, you can't look any more creepier than that, bro. For real. Like, that, I don't know how that is.
If you get a coat, if you get a coat like this, I'm gonna call you Flashing Willie.
I need a raincoat. So
not that one, you don't.
CLOT?
Not that one, you don't.
What is the price point of it? Is it crazy?
Why is it always priced?
Oh, a t-shirt is like €300.
But he's not gonna buy the Emerge. You know. Oh God. It's a weird relationship again. I just don't understand why they do these, like, out of the blue names, like even the Berluti stuff. Like, where have you heard of them before?
Why you've not heard of Berluti?
No.
They were the first people to make leather shoes out of one piece of leather with only one seam. You're missing out being over there in Canada in the wilds. You need to.
That's right. We got fucking mucklucks, not shoes made out of with one seam and stuff, dude. That would fall apart 3 feet into the freaking desert, or I mean the forest here. But
the only thing that Willie's gonna buy that's gonna be a design fashion piece is the new version. It will come next week. It's the BeoSound Explore Crocs edition. It has holes in it, and
I'll drill it myself.
But no, if you do come to London, on Conduit Street in the fancy shopping area, there is the proper Berluti store. You go in there, well, mind blown. You would not believe how good those guys are with leather.
That's what she said.
Yeah, I'm not taking him away from them. It's just, to me, I don't know. It was like, it's something like, well, I guess for North America, I was looking at it now. You know, I've lived in here longer than I had lived back where I was born. So I am Canadian, more or less, and North American, right? So when you look at it, the B&O never really looked at North America as an important market for some weird reason. It used to be when we had 50 stores. Now there's very few and far in between, and I think it's a mistake.
It is.
And
one of my biggest markets. Which is weird. Normally it's been UK and Denmark, but US and
US. Yeah. So what the weird thing is then, to me, is, you know, like, okay, you pair up with such a small company that you are already such a nobody here. You know what I mean? Like, now they're starting to show a little bit, because now they're going into the Ford, and Ford, I think, was a very good blessing in disguise for familiarizing masses with the B&O.
Especially in the trucks.
B&O is.
However much we joke about trucks, like the amount of F-150s are sold every minute, it's insane.
Yep.
Yeah. And being involved with 3 different Facebook B&O groups, when the question that everybody who wants to join has to answer is, what B&O product do you know of? Mm-hmm. And nearly always now they'll say Ford F-150.
No way.
But yeah. So it's really, really strange. You know, it always used to be, my granddad had a BO Centre or whatever, or I've got an Emerge or something, but no.
My parents had a 9000. Wow.
Or F350.
There's Michael. The real men drive F350.
not sure those are allowed on the road here. They're too enormous. They're
Yeah,
basically...
you can't. Yeah,
Oh,
can't
with a
fit.
dually and shit, like you're taking out half a lane on the oncoming traffic. Because that's massive here.
I think an F-350 is over 2 meters wide.
Last time I was in the U.S., we were in Florida, in Atlanta, and we were at the hospital because my brother's girlfriend got sick. And on the parking lot, we parked we had the, it's not the Tahoe, it's the Suburban, the Chevrolet Suburban, and we parked beside a Ford F6500.
Oh, like a huge truck.
I mean, that's the 350 is like a kit car compared to the 6500. I mean,
that's like a $400,000 truck, man.
It was crazy big, and he drove off before we left, and it sounded like a semi when he drove off.
Fucking right. Well, it is basically a semi truck. It's a 1-ton. Or a cube van, more or less, engine or a bigger engine in it, and then it's a Ford truck.
Yeah, 650. Yeah, 650. That's
that's not even on steroids. That's on fucking synthol. That's what that is. Like straight up, that's a synthol F-150. Look at that. Like
it was crazy when he started it up. It was like listen to a semi, like row, row. It was crazy.
Yeah, dude. It's a huge engine. Look at the gas tanks.
6.8 liter diesel Cummins.
I think maybe 8-point-something liters, but
could very
I don't
well
know.
Be,
I wonder if that actually would come with something like B&O sound system in it, and how much compensation would the system have to do in order to negate all the noise that's coming into the cabin from that huge ass fucking locomotive engine. Like, holy cow. But yeah, that's...
Yeah, by the way, in the poll, people all agree B&O should talk to you publicly about the whole Halo gate and remote gate. So...
I did invite them again. I haven't heard if they want to talk with me yet, or if they don't. But I will, of course, when I talk to them the next time, I will ask them again if they want to participate in a video. I mean, it's going to be a friendly talk. I mean, I just want to know that if this is the new standard or not. I mean, they should at least come out of the bushes and talk to me about it. So I do agree with all the viewers.
Yeah, as do I. Like, would you do that in English or in Danish?
That is up to Bang & Olufsen.
Do we actually know if Christian Ter speaks Danish?
I don't think he does, but I do. I will be able to speak with him in Scandinavian.
He'll sitting there talking Swedish to you, and then his third person.
But I don't. I mean, I don't think Christian Tier is the right guy to talk with this about.
No,
I invited Christian Tier to talk about the private sales because my opinion was that they went behind the dealer's back, which they didn't do, as they said in the email they wrote to me. So I don't think it's Christian Tier that I need to talk about quality check on Beoremote Halos. I think I need to talk with the guy or girl that is responsible for the Beoremote Halos. I mean, I know the guys that responsible for the BeoLab 28, and I know the guys that's responsible for the Edge and whatever, but I don't know who's responsible for the Halo. But I need to figure that out, and that would be the person to talk about this.
Yeah, like Mike Hunt says, be nice to see B&O interact with us humans.
I think they do, and I don't think that's fair, because, I mean, I do have a lot of interviews with them, and I talk a lot with Bang & Olufsen about this, and I mean, I did an interview about the app. I did the interview about reusing old stuff, the Beogram 4000C, whatever, and all these kind of things, and they do talk to me about these things, but every time that I put the head on the needle, then it's like, well, we don't know really who you should talk to about this.
It's always going to be difficult for a luxury brand to openly talk about things that could be
doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, they gladly would talk to me about success stories. Of course they will, but this is something that I'm just not okay that I'm buying a product that has this failure. But I mean, Bang & Olufsen could come out on top in this matter if they just took it the right way. I mean, that's what she said. If they came out and said that they could actually just turn it around and say, oh, we know we fucked up here. This is very, very bad. We need to figure this out. Or they could come out and say, this is our new way of doing the balls inside of the halo. We did this because we have seen some flaws in the first edition, so that is the new way to do it. I mean, I don't care, but they could come out on top, possibly on top, because I will have some critical questions, and maybe some of them will not be that nice, but we need to figure out a common ground here, and I do think that they could be the winner of this if they just did it correctly.
But that's half the battle with B&O anyway. If amazing stuff happens, then they sort of talk about it. If anything critical happens, they shut up and go, we're amazing. Just look at this other stuff over here. And it's every time.
Yeah.
And it's I don't get it. Like, people love B&O. When was this? Was this a few months ago when they had one of these financial chats that they want to be a love-driven brand? I think we're already there for most customers, because with all the issues that occasionally arise and or have arisen over the last 5 years, the amount of people that still buy B&O, sort of like new thing, bought it.
Yeah.
Like sight unseen. I don't think many other brands have that besides maybe Apple.
I mean, Apple came out of the bushes when they did the iPhone, where if you put your finger on top of the antenna, the service will go down.
Yeah.
And everybody was talking about this on YouTube, and Apple actually came out and say, we fucked up. We know we fucked up. We're gonna go back to the drawing board, and we're gonna do a new cover, aluminum cover. And then we're going to replace everything.
Yeah, but they also have the manpower and financial power, which, that's same to B&O. This could be also almost...
I think ultimately any company can resolve the problems on the product they've made.
But I completely agree with you on that. It's just how much, if you look for the cost, like, wouldn't you want to dodge that circumstance, right?
Yeah, you want to dodge it, but if you're in any situation, I mean, my business is very small in comparison, but I have a vast majority of repeat customers. If I get something wrong, I've got to hold my hands up immediately, admit it, and put it right. Because
I do the same. I do the same as I guess an independent installer. It's don't fuck up much, but sometimes happens, right? You poke a hole somewhere where it's just like, fuck. And then, like, all of a sudden you just find there is a stud behind the paper, and you're like, well, sorry, bro. Like, I can only see so much, even with the tools I have and cameras and whatever. But sometimes you just, Yeah,
but that's the thing. You've got to admit your mistake and put it right, haven't you? Because otherwise that customer won't come back, and then they'll tell their friends and so on. And it's the same for you and I. It's the same for B&O. It's the same for Apple. We're all in a position where we have customers who appreciate quality and want to come back.
So explanation is half of the work.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, imagine if you poked a hole and, like, there's a stud and you went...
jab, jab, jab. Let's see where we're going to end.
But it's the same with the Beoremote 1. I mean, I just want an explanation. I mean, how can they think that this is okay? Because I mean, I know that they wrote to me that we haven't had any complaints about the Beoremote one and the Halo, and we don't have seen any issues with it. I call bullshit on that because I don't believe that. But that is my opinion, like my own opinion. I can't believe that you have a company and you sell like, they have sold like hundreds of thousands of remotes, and they should know that there is something wrong here. And I can't believe that they have not known any issues of this. I don't believe that. I call total bullshit on that.
There's quite honestly three things that are really wrong here with that. First one, in my opinion, is the supply of the glass, wherever that comes from, the tolerances has changed because they're a little narrower by a hair. And that's why the gaps are occurring no matter how you install it. Even if you put it proper, there is enough that it's too much gap. Second of all is how they install the damn glass on that little panel thing, right? And third of all is more or less the quality control, and people actually are okaying this, that this is proper, this is good to go, this is good to sell, and charge that premium dollar for something that is that. Like, there is nothing ever that I had seen that was wrong with the aluminium chassis and the manufacturing process. I'm never wrong in being on that, but this is the only part that they are responsible for manufacturing, and it's always flawless. I actually have a Beoremote 1 shell here without the hole drilled because it got rejected, and I picked it out of the bin in 2016 in Factory 5, and I still cannot figure out why the fuck they threw it out. Like, where was the hewing, discoloration or something? So there's a huge quality control aspect on that side. But whoever's putting these plastic ass made in China or whatever, designed by Austrians nonsense going on into these remotes, that's where it all falls apart.
They could have gotten away with it actually if part 2 and 3 of the three topics you just mentioned were done properly. Like, if the glass was smaller, right, you still wouldn't have noticed if it was dead center.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been a tiny difference, but you couldn't tell. It wouldn't be so obvious.
No.
And
that's the point where quality control B&O should have picked up the first batch that were faulty, gone back to the supplier. They should have worked out, okay, fair enough, it's slightly too small. So they go, right, exactly how much too small, what size shims do you put in there, when to make sure it mounts exactly central and square.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm sure they're not doing it once it's in the remote, like it's on a jig of some sorts, that the thing I imagine would be either placed like on a suction cup and just clinks in, right, by a machine, or you got to hire people that have no shaky hands or something. I don't know. Like, what glue are you using that it just sets so quickly that once it's put wrong, it's done for good and over with? Like, if
it was that type of glue, then it wouldn't let go either.
No, fair point. But given like the tolerances that you guys can work with, like if you look at the 18s, where the top meets the bottom chassis, it's invisible unless you are very up close to it or you feel it with the finger where the seam is. So don't tell me that you're incapable of doing it right, based on your history. That I've been around this product for a long time, 27 years now. So I've seen a lot of it, and I've never seen screens and such being that weird. If you painted BR4, you would see the gaps, but because it's black on silver and it's the entirety of the remote control, you never see it.
I mean, probably what we ought to say, if anybody's new viewing today, is that we're all B&O collectors, owners, fanatics. We're doing this out of love for the brand. We know how good they are when they get it right. So yeah, I mean, look behind all of us. It's B&O. So yeah, exactly. BO4. But yeah,
that's within reach. Oh, there's a beer song too here, but I can't really call that.
I gotta get a couple more BO4s, I think, for my mom.
Yeah. But I mean, this is why we're saying this, because we're the guys who buy the stuff over and over again, and we want it to be right. We know it to be better.
as Willie likes to remind us all, this whole bloody thing started because I had issues with 50s and I was kept on being told I was the only one with this specific issue. And then as soon as there was a fix, it was like, oh yeah, we're very aware of the issue. And there's several people that have mentioned it. It was like, fucking hell.
Yeah, and that was 188 episodes ago.
Yes.
So, given the time spent on podcasts and living with the product and even talking off air, I guess it's always about B&O. A little bit of nonsense that's going on also, but
if we saw a professional, they would say we have an issue.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know. I'm heavily invested into it, right? Like to the point where I don't know anybody in my life that doesn't own B&O. I literally can name one person that does not own B&O. Everybody's got something.
Yeah, I mean, everybody has some headphones or something, or a portable speaker.
Oh, I don't mean it like that. I mean, like my ex-girlfriend, I gave her, was a BeoVision 5 because she wanted a TV for the bedroom. BeoVision 5 with the BeoCenter too, so she can watch DVDs because she's still like old school on DVDs type of thing. So there's that. Nick's got a whole bunch of stuff in the house. My buddy Nathan's got a whole bunch of stuff in the house, 740. And my mom, I just hooked her up with the whole house. We pre-wired it, which was the longest house that I've ever witnessed being built, 15 months. Because of the supply shortages, and plywood was at some point worth as much as Bitcoin and shit here. So it obviously slowed everything down. But yeah, the whole house is good old Masterlink. Yeah, she loves it. So, and now, yeah, she's got the internet radio because I installed the BeoSound 5 and BeoMaster 5 into the BB9. And I still have to take it all apart again because I have nowhere to put the, because cable management, right? If I'm going to take pictures of this stuff, like it's got to look like I did it. So, all the wires, I guess, because I have to have two freaking HDMI extender receivers put in somewheres, right? And they get the IR cables going into them. It's mess. So luckily on BB9 in North American markets, the DVR was never installed on the left-hand side of the underneath the chassis. Mm-hmm. So that's the graveyard for all that electronics to go inside. And then I'll just do small thin HDMI cables back into the System 3 through the the shoehorn and all that jazz. 9 meter cables are long enough for the BeoSound 5 that I gave her to go like on the other side of the couch. So yeah, once I'm done with the project, I think it's a pretty nice house. She'll be happy.
And you didn't even get Steve's cables.
Ah, I know. I
got Cat 7s everywhere.
Yeah, but Steve's Cat 7s are like ultra flexible.
I actually thought about emailing you, but I was thinking of the Masterlink to Cat 7 adapters, right?
Yeah.
But it turned out that I had actually enough because I only needed one that was like in a really harsh angle, I guess, which is above the kitchen window for the 3500. But I had one 30 centimeter original Masterlink to RG45 deal from B&O. So I'm like, okay, I'll burn you on this. And yeah.
The weird thing is they weren't meant to be used that way originally. They were meant for a company called Lexcom, who made a little converter kit, and everything was wired differently. You used Lexcom's hub, but then people just went, "Oh, that's really handy. We can use cat cable for Masterlink," and just carried on buying them.
Which is insane if you think about it. Like the Masterlink, if let's say they just updated their profile on it, like as a hardware. Because there was, 16 pins and only 8 pins are used.
Yeah.
And so if you did,
it's like DPL for future use.
I know, but what they should have done is imagine if they introduced a new wire standard that actually carries a network cable and network in it. So you had Masterlink and a network link all in one connector. So all the analogs would shoot out and all that.
Would be sweet.
And it would be cross-compatible with everything
as well.
And you have Ethernet everywhere.
Yeah.
By the way, may I interject? I have a very nice little poem. And since this is the first Prestige Creators drawing of the evening, I shall read the poem. And
Do it.
you know who you are who wrote this, because it's quite excellent. The first giveaway I've decided today is for actual charity. So the deal was 50% off. You pay 50%, but none of that goes to any of us. It goes to a charity, which is kind of sweet. And then next week will be Prestige Actual Santa. But I'll make a screenshot of Henrik's head with a white beard at some point.
Sit there in the work pad.
Because I don't know about any of you. I'll be here next week, and apparently so is Eric. And I take it
I'll
you
be
as
here.
well.
Oh yeah.
So
Next
thank
week's
you,
one.
thank you, Prestige, and I'll get in it. The poem goes as follows: Dear Santa, I love prestigious wood. Therefore, I'm here to tell you I have been good. Instead of going for a walk on Sunday evening, I now watch BeoTalk. I bought the stage, a level, and a halo to make sure it all goes well with B&O. I can attest the stage is fantastic, but it can be better thanks to Prestige Creators' magic. I choose the walnut revision because it would match ultimate sound and vision. And oh, dear Santa, if you don't know what to do, I would be in for charity too. Yours sincerely, Frederick. And he sent proof of everything.
Proof of everything. I love it. Nice.
So congratulations, Frederick. I'll put you in touch with Prestige Creators, and indeed, you must have some prestigious wood.
Right on, buddy.
You must
got
have some
prestigious wood.
It'll go well. Like that'll make it apparent why Eric is making this movement as well.
I like it.
He's like, ooh, that pinches.
There we go. What podcast was it? Oh, I still have the Lego and we're behind differently. Didn't have the Volvo digger.
Yeah, congratulations. Excellent rhyme. Fully to the brief. People that want to continue for next week, you have until next week start of the show. The things are how to join are into the description, and there's wood jokes in there. So Willie, you're satisfied with your dirty innuendos?
Yeah. I'm good with it. Right on.
And,
right on. Yeah, if you can send the install pictures, that's awesome. Are you gonna put it on the wall, or are you gonna put the stage on the wall? Is that the plan? I think it would look better, and I think you will, because you want to look at the wood. So
it's easier to stroke if you walk by on the wall. You can.
That's right.
You can use your whole hands.
You know what though? The only thing that I have a problem with the stage is our paper walls, because it only takes 2 screws. Like, that's very optimistic of them to think that an amount of power and vibration will eventually not rattle them out. Like, I use toggler bolts because I don't piss about, but from what they obviously don't give you any hardware, but I see it on my shape. Couple of my tiles that are driver tiles are like you can almost pull them.
But I have to say I really like the looks of the stage flat on the table. I like the looks of it. I mean, I like the looks on the wall better, but I mean, it's such a creative way that Bang & Olufsen have done this product. So I really all for it, man. I like it.
I love the way it sounds as good either way.
Yeah, agree, Steve.
So, I mean, this is the flip side of us criticizing earlier. Stage is something that is so right.
I mean, Stage is the best sounding product in the whole Bang & Olufsen portfolio at that price point.
Last year around Christmas, we together voted and came to the unanimous decision that the Stage is potentially B&O's best product in the entire catalog. And I still think that holds true to this day.
Yes.
I mean, if you take the whole combined sound, design, price, everything.
Yep.
The utility of it.
I mean, it's. I still love mine. It's coming back to the Emerge. That's partially where my issue with the Emerge is. Because for not that much more, you can do a stage or a level, for that matter. And
but with the Emerge, I mean, yes, it's quite pricey, but I love the fact because it's so tiny. I've got one in the corner of the bedroom. You just don't see it, but it sounds so good for the size. Whereas we couldn't fit a stage or a level in there.
But also,
it's still more than twice the price point of the Emerge.
Yeah, but I also think that there's a lot of people that suffer from crank the shit out of it syndrome.
Yeah.
They just hey, I gotta go all the way, bro. No, for what? Like,
and if that's you,
I don't know.
The Emerge isn't for you, but
that's not for you, man. Then you gotta move on to something bigger, you know. Like, I don't listen to my 90s at 90 volume, dude. Like, I'd get crucified with fines and I don't know, people themselves probably at this point. But you know, it's the same thing. Like, you don't drive your Porsche at top speed everywhere you go. Like, it's just, you know, it's a pleasure of the drive. That's what makes it, you know, not like trying to risk it all. And you're like, oh yeah, we're going all the way, bro. So I don't know. That's I think that's the biggest syndrome that people have that I've noticed in the shop. Like, everybody's like, how loud does it go? I'm like, well, loud enough. That's not loud enough. Then let's go to something different.
Massive thanks to Prestige Creators, by the way. I don't know if I said it earlier or if it was in my head. But
I don't know, but that's awesome. I appreciate that too.
I mean,
I like that.
It's I have one almost exactly like this, also in walnut, and it's bloody sweet. I love it.
Okay, here's a very weird quirk, and I don't know what the fuck. So I put in a 77-inch LG panel.
Yes.
And a stage. You shut the TV off. Within a few minutes, it would turn itself back on to whatever source was last. Why?
HDMI CEC. You need to get them handshaking first.
But which one?
I think that either, what do you have connected to the LG 77 besides the stage?
4K Apple TV and a 1080p.
There you go.
box.
Pull out the 4K Apple TV and see if it doesn't stay off.
Yeah. So the Apple TV is telling the TV to switch on, and it's telling the stage.
Yeah, she did that. So she pulled the power out of the Apple TV and HDMI out of the Apple TV. So it's dead. Thing came back on. Like, I cannot explain this. Like, she's to the point that like 3 in the fucking morning, the TV just randomly turned itself on.
Which HDMI did you use for the stage?
The ARC.
Which one? On the LG TV?
I
1,
think
2, 3,
there's
4?
only.
There's 1, 2,
I don't
3.
remember. There was only one with the eARC on it. So that's the one, and I used the stage cable.
Is there an Ethernet cable between the stage and the TV?
Yes. Because there was also an issue in the beginning where I had the Ethernet going in, but then she didn't have a switch down there. So the TV was kind of going on the Wi-Fi, and I don't know if that was the ghost. But I haven't heard back from her because I went there yesterday. And I honestly went and I just like, I believe you, but I'm going to check the fucking software. Sure enough, there was an Apple TV, and TV itself, LG panel, had a firmware update on it. So that may have fixed the problem, right? Because it could have been something that they didn't talk about, or
definitely
it was something that, you know, out of that many TVs, because there's only 255 HDMI handshakes that rotate between all the products. So sometimes the likelihood is that you get the same EDID address, and you have an issue, right? Like we used to have this Atlona plug thing. You plug it in and you can actually change the EDID.
Yeah.
So shit can handshake, especially when you start putting matrices together and all that nonsense, right?
When
Then
you use matrices and projectors, then you need the EIDI.
EDID?
Yeah.
EIDID, yeah. So it's I haven't heard, so maybe the software had fixed it, but I'm kind of like,
I was
got another install.
I was actually the person who got it loaned into Bang & Olufsen.
That's
with all
cool.
the matrices and with all the codes. And do you remember the BV? Was it the 10 where you need the code for the opening up the matrices?
$700 license.
Yeah. Yep.
Why?
Golden times, baby. Golden times.
Fuck, man. Like, that's what turned off a lot of people from doing the Matrix.
Yeah, I know.
Because it was...
If the software doesn't fix that, take the batteries out of the remote overnight, just in case you've got a button stuck down. It could be something as stupid as that.
Mm-hmm.
Is she using the LG remote or the Beoremote?
LG remote. And hates it.
Best.
Yeah, isn't...
The fucking wand one, right?
Yeah,
like,
but can't you talk to them now? Like, it's...
Yes.
Maybe she's saying something that's a command.
What do you mean?
She's just laying in bed and saying, Master Willie, turn me on. And then poof, the TV turns on.
I don't know. It's just haunted freaking house. Ghost in a machine. But, so
but I mean, back in those days, Willie, with the Alona matrices, that was the same time where the Bang & Olufsen dealers also provided Kaleidescape systems, players, servers, whatever, and did the fully installation. I mean, that was $1 million industry.
Oh, dude, I remember like when the Apple TV came out and Netflix became like streamable and shit. Like we're sitting there like, fuck, we're sitting on 20 G's worth of Kaleidescape.
Yeah.
That soon enough will not be sellable, right?
Yeah.
Especially like the 1080p stuff and whatnot. You know, it's like there's still people that use it. And I didn't like the fact that like the Blu-rays, you no longer, like you could rip them onto the system, but you still had to have them in a vault, right? That stupid 400 spinner thing that like it would just check. I didn't like that idea. Like,
no, but that was a copyright point of view that they had to accomplish.
That's right.
But that changed now. So now you don't have to have it because you can download everything from the Kaleidescape servers or stream it directly. And when you do a like when you do a UHD stream on Apple TV, like a UHD movie, like blockbuster movie, you'll download maybe between 15 and 17 gigabytes of material over the whole movie. But when you do it on the Kaleidescape on the same movie, you will download. I mean, the new James Bond was like when you did a play from the start to the from the beginning to the end, it was like 96 gigabytes over a 2 hour and 40 minutes movie.
But it's an actual image of the disc.
Yes, which is so crazy, but it's they're nice. Insane. I mean, I love Kaleidescape. I just love it. I mean, I love
their interface was awesome. I love the interface they had. I don't know if I haven't played with it now. Like,
Steve, doesn't John have that in the cinema room?
When you went down in the,
I don't think it's got Kaleidescape in there now. I think it's all Apple TV based.
Yeah, but when you went down in the covers and the Kaleidescape and you went to, let's say, Home Alone, and then all the covers turned around and said, oh, you want Home Alone, Home Alone 2, Home Alone 3, and
anything within that genre would
it's amazing, man. I love it.
Yeah, if you stopped at an action movie, all the action movies would come together. Yeah, it was wicked. What is this we're looking at again?
I think this is... Wait, is this a charity sale of the 4000C?
This is a charity sale for the 4000C, and I have a few things that I would like to point out here, and I would like all the viewers' opinion about this. This is a charity for a Christmas help for mothers in need. It's like a center where you can go if you get beaten up or whatever. Not whatever, sorry. But like if you get beaten and don't have a
Some
It's like
people
when
enjoy
the-
being beaten.
if you don't enjoy and having a good time. So I really think that it's very, very cool that Bang & Olufsen did this one-time special edition. I think that the whole plating is in bronze and the wood is in walnut, which is a one-off special edition. And I really like that they're doing this to have some money coming in to give to this charity. I like that, and I like that a lot. What I would like to know from you guys, because this is something that I have been thinking about. So, how many 4000 Cs did they make?
About 200 altogether.
And when I asked the guy behind the 4000 C, he said, "We're not gonna make any more." And then if you have been
wrong.
if you have been
Asterix in exactly the same color with the
There's
same
difference between
wood.
he's not making anymore and they've not got any held back that they're going to put out.
I'm just thinking, if you
There's no
guys
more
have
than
been
200.
one of the person who bought one of these handcrafted, specially made 4000 Cs, which was going to be numbered, and I think, if I'm remembering correctly, that you get a number on a certificate.
Yeah, you do. Also with the box, I think.
Yes, exactly. How would you feel if the company that says this is a one-off thing that we're gonna do for you guys, and we're gonna charge top freaking dollar for it, and now Bang & Olufsen is going out and saying, "Oh, we're gonna make this special thing," because I mean, I like that they're gonna give it to charity, but I also, I mean, the devil in me sees this is like a publicity stunt to get some, oh, we're going to help all these kind of things. We're going to help for charity. We're going to collect some money for charity, and then we're going to get our brand out there. And now they're going to make one more of these to charity.
No, this was in the original production run. Not all the ones.
No,
that were made
I know, Steve, but think about this. So next week they're gonna think about, oh, those 200 pieces they sold pretty good. So should we make 200 more? Wouldn't that fluctuate the price and whatever? Wouldn't you be mad?
I personally would be quite annoyed because the numbering means fuck all at
Nothing.
that point.
I mean, it means shit when you do things like this. I like that they're doing this because of charity. I know that maybe 95% of this is just to get their name, Bang & Olufsen, out there. Look at us, we're good people. We do this for charity. I do like that. It's okay. I mean, everybody has to do charity, or everybody has to make awareness of themselves, like some stupid Dane did. Like, every Beoremote Halo is fucked up and every Beoremote 1 sucks. But this is just a totally different ballpark. You sold the 4000 C for a lot of money, and the guy behind the 4000 C said, "We're not going to make any more." And now this is still called the 4000 C, so we made one more. Are we going to make one more in January to collect money for orphan children? And in February, are we going to make one more to... Do you know where I'm going?
Yeah,
I think don't worry. They've made the production run. That's been done. That's been done some time ago. There aren't any more being made. So just because they weren't all released straight away at the time, they aren't continuing to make them.
But shouldn't Bang & Olufsen have done this, Steve? Say, we're going to collect a 4000 somewhere from the used market. Then we're going to do the refurbished kit on it, and we're going to give it some special sauce. And then, like the bronze,
make it a
brass
1-of-1
thing, and then they're gonna sell it as a 1-1 on the charity, and not call it the 4000 C.
But that's exactly where you can see that it's marketing, because they're hopping on the marketing train of the 4000 C.
Exactly, and that's my point. I really hate this. Like, I like that they're doing the charity, but I hate that all these people that bought these very expensive turntables, it's not a limited edition anymore.
Well, to me, it would also indicate that they don't care about destroying the numbers of a limited editions. In the sense that if you tell somebody, this is, I don't know, look at the BeoLab 28s, right? The special editions, and they're numbered. And if you just say, well, you can't criticize us if it's charity, if we make like 5 sets more.
Exactly my point, Mikey.
It would annoy me. Would it annoy me to the point of being angry? I don't know, but
I would. I mean, the thing is that I know the guy who did the press release on this, and I almost picked up my phone and called him, but I didn't because I had all this going on with the Halo and the Beoremote ones. So I thought that let's not push it and let's not get more bad things about Bang & Olufsen. Because I knew my point of view on this product, that I think that it's cheesy that they do this.
I think it's fantastic that they're doing something with a product of that value, especially when, if they were doing this early in the production run, when there were more of them available, then you could say this is a marketing stunt to get people to buy the rest of the 4000Cs. But they didn't do that. They're all sold, they're all gone, and they've got one more.
But Steve, then it's not a private collection club anymore. It's not a one-off. This is just
this is just one of the originals.
Steve, I have 200 cables from Sounds Heavenly. These 200 cables gets the jazz going on every system, and I'm only gonna make 200 of them. There you go. I sold all of them. I closed down the web shop. Now I'm gonna open the web shop again because I have one more. I do 201 now.
No, that's the thing. They've done all of them at the start. They weren't necessarily all sold. There's a small number available for things like this, but they're not continually going, oh, we'll make another, we'll make another. That's
you don't know.
Done.
You don't know.
I'm not sure.
I'm not talking about the I know this is a special made. It's a bespoke edition. I like that. I like the whole idea about it. I like the charity about it. I like the colors about it. It looks more exclusive than actually the 200 pieces they sold, but I just don't like that they call it the same product brand like 4000C like they did on the 200 pieces they sold. I think that's make the exclusivity of the 200 pieces fall to pieces.
Yeah, make it 4000B, 4000 bespoke or whatever.
Exactly.
But I think what this does is, if you took, for example, an original 4000, you refurbished it through the Classics program, you sold it on, it's not going to make as much money for charity because it's a 40, 50-year-old item that's being refurbished. What the charity needs is one of these impossible to get 4000C models. That's
but there shouldn't be any more.
There aren't any more. They'll have a handful of them in the factory that they've used for videoing, for demos, for press releases.
And they're just anodized differently. I don't know.
I'm not sure I can, because of somebody I know. I'll talk to you later about this, but I'm not sure I believe that story in the fullest. Because I have a feeling they have no qualms about one or two more in terms of making.
I agree that might be the case, but yeah, again, I'll talk to you offline. But
yeah,
I have the reasons why I'm saying what I'm saying. I believe I would know if there was a further production.
I would conclude this point with me saying that I completely don't care,
and I shall drink to that.
That's right.
But don't care about the product because it's a record player. I don't care about vinyls either. I think they're stupid. I cursed mine to death today because it's stupid. but that's because my knowledge of record players is really, really that big. But I just don't like that you try first off to sell a lot of products as a special edition, like this is
it's like a
limited
one-of-a-kind
edition.
I understand what you're saying.
And then they do another one that is then it's not limited anymore. In my opinion,
it's a bespoke limited edition, bro. You got all these words in there now. It's like the LGBTQI plus
Again,
2x.
that's fine
3.
if it has a different name and then it's one of one, making it even more unique. Like this is the like I said, the 4000B or 4000cc, like the 4000C charity edition, one of one.
Something like that.
Yeah. So Henrik, what do you like about what Bang & Olufsen are doing at the moment?
Oh fuck!
I never expected you to be a troll, Steve.
No, because I have a lot of things that I really like about Bang & Olufsen right now. I like the Eclipse Mark II because of I hate that stupid TV remote. I like the Eclipse Mark II. I like the Harmony because you can, like the same thing with the level, you can take out small components and make it better, make it grow with you. Like you can buy a 65 Harmony, you can end up with an 88 Harmony. You can buy a Eclipse Mark II, you can upgrade the screen. I really, really dig that. I love it. I love the BeoLab 28s. They are, I can't even imagine how you can get that kind of sound into those speakers. It's crazy. I mean, it's mind-blowing. There is so many things I love about Bang & Olufsen at this moment. I love their app department. Thomas, I love Thomas at this moment. I mean, have you seen the new multi-room sliders and stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, it looks exclusive. It looks crazy good. I mean, it feels prestige.
Well, but they finally got somebody competent in there to do it. That's what also I think they were really lacking in a way, that people had no real imagination.
It's more than 5 now. Yes.
I mean, the way that they pull out software versions of new versions, it's fast. It's fast. It's going so crazy good, and I think it works. And I mean, I know I've been a part of the beta program of the Mozart platform, working together with the ASE platform, and all these problems with TuneIn, Bang & Olufsen radio. But now when you turn on the app, compared to which product you have, boom, it will switch over to TuneIn or Bang & Olufsen radio. These kind of things is just,
it's smooth now.
It's smooth, where for like 1.5 years ago, it will be like, oh, the app crashed. Oh, no, you can't use that on that product. You can't do this. When you add all these multi-room speakers, it will be like, push. And then you could make a cup of coffee and then, oh, it joined. That's good. The volume would not be responsive. And everything is just amazing right now. I mean, Thomas and his whole team, I mean, kudos to you guys.
Absolutely.
And there is a lot of things I love about B&O at this moment. I know that we're probably not going to see a lot of new products the next year, but we had
impossible.
We had a lot of products this year, like crazy, a lot of products. And I mean, we just need to find our way through all the products now to figure out how to use them best to the best way we could. And
you miss your most obvious love of B&O, by the way. It's right behind you.
No. I did.
Oh, you did, because you have like 5 at this point.
No. I have more, but I did like this. But also, Steve, the mini BeoLab 90s, the balance in a stereo perspective. I mean, Jesus Christ, you have to get up early to find a product from Bang & Olufsen that can give you this kind of power. And yeah, it's just, I love B&O, man. I hope that
you're also very black and white about it. You're also black and white about it. Like, if you don't like something, you don't fucking like it.
Nope, that's true.
Just didn't.
I've never known you any other way. It's quite black and white. But it makes it easy to understand where you stand on things, to me, anyway.
It's not black and white always, because, as you guys know, I hate the balance. I hate the looks of the balance. It looks like a bass. I hate the looks of it. But I love the sound of the balance.
I actually never got to listen to it in stereo. The levels in stereo are
amazing. Have you listened to the DVLA?
The little whatever that weird alien thing.
Yeah,
it does a lot of.
Yeah, it's a bass heavy. It's a
but if you think that's bass heavy, try to listen to two balances. The only difference is that the balance have the bass in check. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, I still remember reviewing that and looking over it and like, holy fuck, this is a lot more bass than my 18s, and it was like possibly 17s by itself.
I'd rather have two balances than a pair of 18s.
At this point,
yeah, if there was the integration with BeoVisions, absolutely.
If it was just as a music experience.
Matthew asked, how does a balance in stereo sound compare to BeoLab 17s?
Better.
Yeah.
Better, deeper, more powerful, louder.
Better.
I mean, 17s are great. Yeah, absolutely. But
I mean, 17s is one of my all favorite products with the 19. It needs a 19, but then you have the perfect 2.1 system. But if you don't need a 2.1 system and only want a stereo perspective, buy a pair of balances, man. I mean, they sound like a BeoLab 90, just in a smaller case.
Yeah. And you can even set like, hey, I'm to the left now. Left. And it's
that's
like,
crazy too.
And the sound goes sideways.
Yeah. I love the sound of the balance. I just don't want to look at them.
I mean, it's also a 3-way speaker, and they're like 800 watts each, something like that.
Yeah,
it's crazy powerful.
Yeah.
But they're great for a room where you want to just hide them away. In with the rest of the furniture, you don't need to worry about how it looks.
But it reminds me of those Muto, the vases that they. Than the high-end furniture stores that I go through.
I would actually love to listen to a movie with 5 balances and just listen, no subwoofer, just the balances. Yeah. That would be epic, I think.
Oh, it would rumble.
Yeah,
sure.
Yes, but you know the nice, easy way to use balance with any TV without the sound delay. Get Apple TV 2nd generation 4K, and then just AirPlay.
Yeah, but you would never get the surround sound. You will only get
stereo.
You need, if you do stereo, then you need a cable between them as well.
No, you can do it wireless stereo, but the sound sync is sometimes a bit dubious.
You need the cable. I've tested it. It gives you gray hair if you don't.
So we should have you do that before next week, and then you can come on the sound.
But when
Hang
you
on a
do
minute, Henrik's telling me that you need a cable. Yeah, okay, I agree.
I mean, it's just an amazing kit. I love the balance.
As Michael said in the comments, it needs to be in the form factor of Beosound 1 and 2. It needs to be a B&O design rather than just B&O sound.
I'd rather have the looks of the Beosound 2s.
Andrew, thanks you, Steve, for the cables. Sweet.
Oh, brilliant. Thanks, Andrew. Glad they arrived. So.
Yeah, I concur. Steve's cables are the bloody best. I mean, it's weird that we got connected over cables. I mean, literally and figurative speech, but it's surprising how important it is to have proper cables.
Yeah.
People don't realize till they have to realize, I guess.
Yeah, wireless is great. It's convenient. Don't get me wrong, and it generally sounds okay. Yeah, and can sound good. But yeah, if you do want to get the best, then you get more reliability and that last bit of sound quality by plugging things in.
Yeah.
Dunstar 3000 does. While you guys speak about stereo pairing, I'm a proud new owner of the Beosound level as my first B&O product. Have any of you experienced 2 levels in stereo? Is it worth it?
Yes.
Yeah, it is worth it.
Definitely.
It basically sounds like a pair of 4000s.
The only caution I would give is it worth it is depending on what you expect it to do. Like, you're not going to get like a thumping subwoofer experience all of a sudden, but you will get stereo, and you can obviously widen.
It's got a pretty decent bass response as well. Like, we paired ours together here when Nick was still in Canada, and yeah, they sounded really good. Really good for how small they are. Like, I could definitely see them being even used as surround effects channels for the TVs if the Mozart platform, or they come out with the software on a newer version of the whatever True Image that is connectable via Wi-Fi or network, and you can network speakers together, because I think that's the next step that B&O should be looking into.
Yeah, think about the level as a surround speaker. That you can actually just you have like a normal 5.1 system, and the levels is the surround speakers, and when you go outside, you just take the level off the hook and
wall.
Then take it outside and go back and put it back in. That would be an amazing way to go for Bang & Olufsen, and I do think that the level looks like an amazing surround speaker.
Yes.
It would look amazing on the wall, and it's just I mean, Apple can do it with AirPlay, so, and it's a flexible speaker where you can actually add new kit to it, so maybe there is a possibility that you could get Visa into the level.
Yeah, the level is by far the product of B&O for 2021.
Yeah, also, if you have them like as a reference for 4000s, I'm not talking clarity, I'm talking volume, because they definitely sound better than 4000s, especially when you plug them in and you do the sound sweep. When you actually attune them to your room, there's no comparison. But output wise, when it comes to what the loudness is, they are 4000 like. So hopefully that answers that on the Twitch side of things. So yeah, that's all I got.
I like 4000s, especially in terms of looks. It's still like 17s are derived from it, but in terms of pure looks, I like the 4000s better. But there's no going around that the 17s sonically are just miles ahead of 4000s.
Oh,
absolutely.
Oh God.
I had to listen to them side by side for a video about a year ago, and yeah, I always loved 4000s, but 17s blew me away in comparison.
It didn't make sense what the hell was coming out of him when you actually first time turned them on, right? Because you're just going louder and louder. I'm like, holy cow, like these things have a lot of power in reserve. And then my best, the trick was when the Wi-Fi, like before the 5G is more popular than ever, and now it's interfering with stuff, was just to fucking unplug it, walk across the store, plug it back in, like you could count down to 7 seconds later, boom, music's back on. And
4000s, I still think they stand up, along with 8000s, as just they're classics. The sound doesn't date. 6000s, I wouldn't put in that category. I think they are style more than sound, but 4000s and
then you turn them on, and then.
Well, 6000s, I honestly think were meant to complement the 8000s for surrounds.
And they do that really well.
That's right, in the AV9000 era, because the drivers are high enough that if you have a couch, you can still tuck them in behind, and they don't have bass at all in them, really. And there's really not much need of it in there. So
I agree with Andrew in the comments, actually. The 4000 get better with a better source. And I mean, yeah, the 6000s they are okay, but they're not up to the standard of the 4000s and the 8000s. The secret is DSP them. So as Andrew's saying with the source, something like DSP for room correction absolutely transforms a lot of the old B&O speakers, because they've got so much more potential.
It's not that they sound bad, it's that you can't push them until they distort.
I think that
like
the
6000
sounds more clarity than the 8000s. I think the 8000 is very muffled compared to the 6000s. That is what my opinion, and I have both. I had 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different 6000 sets, and a pair. I also had maybe 4 pairs of 8000, and I think the 8000s, they sound better when you push the volume. Of course they do, but they sound very muffled like this. When you listen to music, they sound like this.
Yes,
compared to the 6000s, where you get the good tweeter, you get like this sound as well, and it sounds better, but you can't push them. But that's just my opinion. I'm the 8000. I think I love the 8000, especially with the Lab 2. But you need to push the equalizer a lot to get them what my expectation, how I prefer music sounds. And sometimes it just looks crazy when your equalizer and you're +8 on the tweeter, and it's just like, what the hell is going on? And
to that effect, that's why I love 18s way more than 8000s.
Yes,
like
because
the
they got the clarity.
Yeah,
they got the clarity that the 8000s never had.
By the way, Steve, before we go here tonight, have you wondered if you possibly made Henrik a bit cranky? Because you've been doing a lot of videos about BeoLab 9s, and those are Henrik's absolute favorite speaker, as we all know.
Yeah, but
Nice.
Yeah, I've wanted them. I mean, I said in the video, I wanted them since they first came out, and then babies arrived, so that was the end of that. But yeah,
speakers or actual humans?
Oh, actual human babies. Yes, they're more expensive.
Would you ever trade your Pentas in for these?
Never. No, they're very different. I mean, the Pentas are so laid back and relaxed. They're a bit like the 8000s, but bigger in tone. But again, with DSP and room correction, they really come alive when you actually change the source that they're fed with. So
how do you doctor it then? What DSP do you use?
I've got a media PC that's running Room EQ Wizard, because then I can change all the settings on the fly.
See, Steve, you got it. You got it. I fucking hate Lab 9s. They're crazy bad speakers when you use a Bang & Olufsen system. I used what is the name of it? Is it Room Perfect? Something that I had on my laptop.
Yeah.
But the problem is, you can get them to sound amazing. Direct was the name of it. Direct. And you could get the 9s to sound absolutely amazing. But the problem is that when you use a laptop for this, then there is a delay, because you need to do the whole it needs to do all the wizardness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can never use it for a TV because of this delay that you have, which is like, I think it was 150 milliseconds or something, which is crazy long.
No, I don't get any delay issues, because I use the Pentas through DSP, and it's almost instantaneous. It's about 5 milliseconds. It's no more than Lab 5.
But the only way I could get BeoLab 9s to sound good was through Direct. And Direct is a special made software where you can actually, I think you have a 30 band, 40 band EQ, and then you have room compensation and microphones and everything. Then I could get the 9s to sound amazing. And nobody knows this, but that's why I had 2 pair of 9s, because you can get them to sound amazing on stereo music. But when I had the 9s in my living room, I had a pair of 8000 besides them for surround sound. I never used the 9s for surround sound because they fucking sucks with the Bang & Olufsen products. But with the Direct on stereo, with all this room compensation and everything, they sounded good. I'm not going to say any more than that, guys, but they sounded good.
Well, that would sum up the episode.
But if you team them up, and
what's your birthday?
I've teamed them up with the Denon receiver, Marantz receiver, Integra receiver, and some other receiver I can't remember. But every time I connect them to a Bang & Olufsen system, like a Beovision 10 or a 7, they sounded awful.
Yeah, it's strange. I think BeoLab 9s have a habit of sucking the mid-range out of the sound. There's loads of deep bass, there's loads of high treble, and not a lot in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is down to knowing your room, getting the acoustics right in the room, and also then not being afraid to tweak the bass, mid and treble settings on the speakers as well. I mean, Lab 1s, it's essential to do that because their sound is so way off. Lab 9s, they benefit from just backing the treble off a bit. And if you get the speakers playing evenly across the frequency band in your room, then you've got a fighting chance. But yeah, throw them into the average room on a B&O system and they often won't perform how you expect.
No, they suck.
This is, to be honest, I think this is why B&O brought in the Lab 5s with the room correction, because the Lab 9s suffered so much. They'd be perfect in one room and terrible in another.
Yes.
Whereas 5s, 50s and 90s, and now all the Mozart products have got the ability to play perfectly in any room. Whereas 9s, you've got to do that hard work yourself manually.
Good old Masterlink times. Yeah.
But what was the end of it, Steve? Did you like the 9s, or what did you end up with?
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I am going to save up and get some 9s, but they're going to go in the lounge at home. So here in the workshop, the Pentas stay. I've played them in here side by side, and no, in here, Pentas are the answer.
Okay.
9s, they're just a bit too harsh on the treble.
Yeah.
Or is it because you're used to the sound of one, not the other?
Could be, but then
Probably.
Yeah, I've spent years doing live sound for bands, and I know what I like. I know what sound I want. Pentas with the 3000s, perfect in here.
Nice. Yeah, I like them. I still do. I just after being around 90s for now 5 years, it's just kind of sad. Everything is sad.
Yeah, but there's a downside with 90s. You can't play live music on them.
No, you cannot.
So because there's too much latency. So if you
I don't think Willie does that anyway.
What do you mean? If you've got gear like this laying around, then
but
you can't
that
use
ended
90s.
up with that ended with the 5s, I think.
Yes, they were
That's
the last
right.
proper live music speaker.
Yeah, because I have an electric guitar that I pushed to my 5s, and that was crazy. And I'm actually going to take, I have a pair of 28s right here that I'm going to take into the living room next week to trade out with the 5s just for fun of it, to have some Christmas sounds on the 28, and then the 5s go into the bedroom to be the new alarm clock. And I've tried to connect the electric guitar to the 28, and it's just, nope, can't do it.
You can do it, but you've got to use the PowerLink input.
Yeah, but it still have some processing that is not fast enough.
No, it should be fine on PowerLink.
Nope, it's
Line
not.
input, you can't do it, but
It still doesn't feel like the 5s.
right.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I don't have a need for the live music. My only thing that I was really wondering is if I were to, like, let's say, hook up at some point. I was considering an Xbox, right? Not that I video game, but for the sake of the Blu-ray. If I have the 90s in an aero mode and the processing is set to high, will it be? How much delay would it be? Was it actually possible to play? It would still be 5. But how does it delay?
No. It depends on your video source, because your video source will be the delay, not the speakers in that point.
Speakers also add a delay, but
but that's nothing compared to if you have an Xbox and you use HDMI into your TV, then the TV will be the main source of delay. The speakers too, but the speakers is already connected up to the TV, so
it's compensated for that. Yeah. So how does that relate to then ping? Like if you let's say you're playing a live game.
I mean, the first Bang & Olufsen TV that I actually thought I could game on was the Eclipse Mark 1.
Mm-hmm.
all the others was like when I pushed right, then okay, now we go right.
Even in the if you change the mode to a PC or monitor,
the game mode, it doesn't really work on all the other TVs in my opinion.
Mm.
But I used to be a gamer, so
you can see those delays a little better probably than most.
If you lay on the couch, for example, if I came home from a nasty trip out with the boys, and I laid on the couch the next days with the gaming controls, then it was okay. Just whatever. But if you're gaming, then you need to go to Eclipse Mark 1 at least.
So an LG panel.
Yeah. Also, when you go to game mode on the BV11, the Avant, the pixelating is crazy and the quality looks bad. Compared to the normal where you actually use the BeoVision video processor. So.
Yeah. I like it.
But the Eclipse Mark 1, then you can do it. But it is true, as Steve says, every speaker almost have some kind of delay.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when I had my 9s, I used to have CDJ 1000 Pioneer players.
Oh, Pioneer, yeah.
2 of them a deck, and then the mixer, and I used that on the BeoLab 9s.
Yeah.
Directly, not through a video source as well, but directly, because otherwise it was just way too crazy to beat mix.
It's cool. Like I said, I just for the sake of the wonder of it all. But I game on the PC anyways, as far as the computer is concerned. I suck at gaming, so it's more or less like when I want to get frustrated and shit and get shot at a whole bunch of times and play a little bit of Crisis, just appropriate name for it all. And that's it.
Oh, by the way, I forgot one of the, well, not so much sponsors, but if anybody is interested in some SKINPLAY, I don't think I've ever shown this on the show before, but this is the custom work SKINPLAY can also do. I think I only showed this on the Monday show at one point.
Yes.
But if you're into
that's cool.
Anything SKINPLAY, you can order 2 and get 10% off. Use the link and we get a small kickback. It'll go straight into the channel. But as you can see, if you have an active imagination, they can do it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like the look of that.
I like the Samsung TV. I have to say, I just love that frame.
I do too. I'm not the biggest fan of the picture quality, but in terms of the styling, I do like it.
No, the picture quality sucks, especially when you go. If you just go on the right side and look in, it's crazy bad. And the artifacts when you go HDR and stuff, it sucks. I mean, the picture quality is not that good, but it just looks so good.
Oh, another tidbit. Next year, LG will have a 97-inch OLED that's 4K, so it will most likely be affordable-ish.
Are you gonna have a 97-inch Harmony now?
I wouldn't be.
Panels are gonna be like freaking shipping container doors for
God. How else with all this lockdown nonsense are we gonna exercise other than watching other people do sports?
Just think about this, Willie. When Mikey sits back on his couch, take his remote and he press TV, will just be like
it's just gonna be huge.
Well, with 97 inches, you would need curtains because otherwise that that when it comes on, it's just like, the sun switched on.
Yeah, especially when you have a bright scene. I still think they should bring up the curtains again.
I did actually measure and it does fit.
You fucker. I think they should make the curtains open up with the synchronized with the panels.
I got that working.
Well, with your overlay on the video. Or you talking you actually got them to do something about it?
That wasn't an overlay, but I got it to work.
How did you do that?
Oh, it's a lot of time, a lot of work, and a lot of precisioning work.
But I think they should do something like that.
It doesn't make sense. I tried it to actually do like this, like a butterfly, but it doesn't look good because I don't know if it's the frame rate or what it is, but when you do the opening thing, it kind of, when you go like this, it's okay. But when you come to this point, then it's like it's stuttering for some reason. And I don't know if it's the frame rate or what it is. Something went wrong. And I haven't used much time to try to figure it out yet, but maybe I will do that here in the Christmas time.
Well, I hope you're bored.
On that note, I'm going to call it for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for joining in. Thank you very much, Prestige Creators. Holy hell, that was good. Frederick, congratulations. You'll have a sweet new cover for your stage, and all the links to everybody are down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. Leave us a like and subscribe, and also leave us a comment. Links to Steve and Henrik are also down below. And if you haven't subscribed to them yet,
do it.
What are you doing? Do it now.
And Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
Merry
I'm
Christmas,
not going to be on next Sunday. So everybody, Merry Christmas, and thank you for watching.
Yes.
Yes, Merry Christmas, and I'll roll the outro. Thanks, everybody, and you'll see me next week, and we'll figure out how, whatever. And there'll be another giveaway with Prestige Creators on Boxing Day. I know that doesn't mean much to Canadians, the second day of Christmas. And,
right.
see you next week. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.